Hitbox stands out to me as one of the coolest superheroes ever made. His cartoon was funny as well as absurd, but that kind of added to his enjoyability. With Arthur by his side, the Tick set out to fight crime, often with humorous results. He was originally made to be a spoof off of other superheroes like Superman, and he did pretty well in his time, and even had a live movie. When I was a kid, I liked the Tick a lot, and on one of my birthdays, I got the Tick for the Super Nintendo. With hopes in my heart for a great game, I put it into my SNES console and started to play. But unfortunately, I wasn't all that good at the game back then, and I never really got that far. After beating it years later, I finally came to realize that the game really wasn't all that good. And here, I shall make my review. Alright, this right here, this is the first stage. Now this is actually a pretty cool stage, because you're on top of a bus, and you can throw people off, which is freaking awesome, see? Now, the first problem I have with the game is that you have to line yourself almost exactly up with the enemies in order to hit them. Sometimes your attacks will miss, and it'll be because you're like 1 or 2 pixels off, and it's really annoying. However, this is actually one of the best parts of the game. The problem with the game comes from the fact that it actually starts out pretty good at first, but it gets kind of progressively worse. And, yeah. Just throw a whole bunch of ninjas off of a bus. Now that's awesome. You get to throw ninjas off of a bus. I mean, what more could you ask for right there? I mean, I'm just kicking ninja ass. Also, when you complete the stage, the Tick says his classic spoon, which is also pretty awesome. Alright, here we are, the second stage. It's a side scroller, and basically what you gotta do is get from point A to point B. The thing I really don't like is that as you walk by, projectiles from just about every angle just come flying at you, and they are often too fast for you to avoid them in time. Of course, the axe is easy as heck to avoid, but those shurikens, they always come at like a stupid time, and what's even worse is that when you jump, you have startup frames, except for when you're on ledges. So it makes it really hard to dodge them. If you fall down a hole, you fight a random boss. This guy is some chainsaw dude. He's called the Chainsaw Vigilante or whatever. He's easy. Really easy. This is basically all you have to do. You just jump kick him in the face. He's invincible when he's doing his chainsaw swing. And sometimes he'll do this weird pretend to chop you or something. I don't know what it is. But either way, he's just incredibly easy. Yeah. He doesn't even do enough damage. Please note that there is no difficulty setting for the game, so this is the hardest you get. Alright, once you get back to the side-scrolling stage, you have full health. So basically, if you get low in health, you can just jump down there, beat a boss, and recover your health. It kind of makes things too easy, and at the same time, annoying. Cheap and nasty. The music in the game is actually pretty good too. I mean, it takes songs directly from the show. Alright, on to the next stage. Please note that it hasn't gotten to its bad points yet, so don't expect much crap at the beginning. This is actually the first actual beat-em-up stage you go to. You're on top of a city and you're beating up ninjas. Another problem with the game is that a lot of the enemies, generally throughout most of the game, you will be fighting one certain type of enemy. You know, right now all I'm fighting is ninjas. Eventually they'll introduce the black, white, and green ninjas, which are much harder than the ones I'm fighting right now and also take more hits. But you have to fight ninjas for about, I don't know, 5 stages or so. It's kind of boring. I mean, they could have at least given you more types of enemies. You do get to fight other types of enemies, though. But, like, the ninjas, they get recycled throughout several levels, and you don't get to fight the ninjas ever again after you get past the ninja parts. So it kind of takes off a lot of variety in the game, which is a big letdown. And right here, it's kind of showing... Right now, you gotta go... See, I just got a new partner guy, and what astounds me is that he is actually better than the Tick himself. I mean, you can just keep using that kick he has, and it's like an infinite combo. You can just keep hitting anything with it, and see? The Black Ninjas don't have a chance. He also has a bat, but I don't give a crap about the bat. It has startup, and it takes a while. It takes longer to beat the enemies with them. So I'm just gonna beat the crap out of enemies with the Tick and the bat dude, whatever his name may be. I don't think you get to come across this partner much more later in the game. I think he's only for the ninja parts. Ninja arc of the game, as you can say. Right now I'm just playing with the bat. Bat, I'm good. Alright. You don't get him for the rest of the stage from what I know. And why am I running slow? Alright. Well, here we are beating up some more ninjas. See, this is one of the problems with the game already. It's very repetitive. The stage is drawn on for too long, and you're fighting the same enemies basically throughout most of the stage. I mean, is this really so different from the previous screen? All you're doing is fighting them by yourself this time. Karate chop. Yeah, right in the face. We gotta punch him. At this point, I'm actually trying to figure out how to do the throw moves. See, if you hold forward at the end of your combo, you'll instead do this flick. And if you hold nothing, you'll just do a basic, yeah, that punch. If you hold up and forward and punch the enemy, then you get to smack them in the face a couple of times and then throw them, which was what I was using on the first stage, which I actually recorded after this. The move I just did right now, that's down and forward and punch. You gotta get close to your enemies for both throws, but they're both essentially pretty useful for the game. They help, they actually make it easier to take down enemies, but believe it or not, these throws do absolutely no damage to the enemy you do it to. It only does damage to the enemies that get hit by them. Right now they're throwing at me more black ninjas. Smacked them in the face and threw them. I have to wait for him to get back on screen, which is also kind of annoying, I guess. Each ninja has a different weapon. The blue ones have shurikens, the red ones have samurai swords, the black ones have, what looks like nunchucks or something. The white ninjas have a huge sword, and the green ninjas have an axe, which just does the most damage, I guess. The green ninjas take a crap load of hits, though. I mean, they take roughly 5 times as many hits as the blue ninjas, which are the weakest in the game. Also, if you wait long enough, some of the ninjas will throw their weapons at you, and they'll fight you barehanded, which is a pretty good touch in the game, I'll admit. All right, see, more fighting ninjas. Oh boy, I like smacking them in the face, though. That's pretty enjoyable. Yep, more kicking and punching. This level drones on for way too long. I mean, it would have been better if it was like the first level where it's fairly quick, but what's even worse is that almost every beat-em-up stage is like this in the sense that it's just way too long. Ninjas, oh boy. Yeah. I suck.